What is going on, Aquarius? It's Chris Anthony coming at you guys live and direct. This is going to be your reading for the second half of July, the 18th to the 31st. It was supposed to be a little bit earlier, but your reading got deleted along with some other signs around the lunar eclipse. So it was some intense energies going on July 16th. And Mercury is retrograde, so yeah. Technology just messed up on us. So yours is a little bit later, Aquarius, but we're going to hop in and see what's going on. This is a general reading. It may not resonate with everyone. If it does resonate with you, do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, comment on the channel. If it doesn't resonate with you, you can always check out your rising or moon sign or one of the previous readings that I did for Aquarius. What's up, Aquarius? It feels like it's been a while. I don't know. Every time I do a reading for Aquarius, it feels like I haven't seen you guys in a while or spoke with you guys in a while. So let's see. Also, if you guys don't follow me on IG, you should. That's at chrisanthony14lbs, Chris Anthony 14 pounds. And if you guys want a personal reading from me, just email me. That will be in the description of the video. Let's go, Aquarius. So crowning your reading up top, we have the Six of Pentacles clarified by the Ten of Swords. I am feeling that there's a certain cycle maybe that you guys have been in maybe for a while that you're definitely wanting to come to an end. Seems like a little bit of a painful cycle. It could be surrounding finances and surrounding you kind of being at the mercy of other people, possibly. With this Six of Pentacles, it talks about giving and taking, and it talks about lending and borrowing, right? So you guys could be on the borrowing end of the spectrum because the Ten of Swords is here, and maybe it's been a cycle for you that's been kind of hard because you definitely don't want to be in a position of having to borrow from other people or having to need, other people's support or help, right? Because I know Aquarius can be very independent and very self-sufficient, but there has been a lot of lessons that you guys have been learning within this cycle. If this is resonating with you, about kind of it's almost like you've been in a place of having to kind of just depend maybe on other people. And I don't know what lesson that you specifically would have to know what lesson that is being taught to you. I do feel like it is kind of putting some type of strong desire and drive within you to definitely become the person that is the borrower, because that's where you're supposed to be. I mean, not the borrower, but the lender, right? You know that you're supposed to be the person that is helping out other people, and you're supposed to be the person that has abundance and money to share. And a lot of times when we are supposed to be, the people that we desire to be, it's crazy how the universe does it. They make us experience the other end of the spectrum before we can get the end of the spectrum that we actually desire. And this is kind of what I'm picking up with you. If you listen to a lot of different celebrities, their stories, like let's say Tyler Perry or Oprah or other people like that. Tyler Perry, for instance, like he's now like a multi-millionaire, right? A very abundant, very successful person. But before he can get to that level of success or that spectrum, where he was abundant and he is the lender now, he had to first be the borrower. He had to first be on the bottom of the totem pole, right? He had to first be suffering through having no finances and having no success and being the one that's left out and being the one that's, and it's kind of like you have to go to the lowest lows in order to get to your higher highs. And that's kind of like a universal law. And some of you Aquariuses could possibly be experiencing that right now, even if it doesn't have to do with finances, right? It could just be you're at a place where you're experiencing a lot of dark night of the soul energy, right? A lot of things are being purged out. A lot of fears are coming to the surface. A lot of anxiety, a lot of pain, right? A lot of hurt is coming up to the surface, and it's kind of like you're being forced to experience it, especially around this lunar eclipse. for you, Aquarius, is kind of what I'm picking up. So let's keep it moving. Let's see what's going on. Then you have the Page of Pentacles energy, and it's clarified by the Tower here. So with the Page of Pentacles, this could be some type of offer that has come in. It could be surrounding a job, or it could be surrounding something having to do with your finances, or this could be a person. This possibly could be you too, you know, wanting to make an offer to someone. But it is clarified by the Tower card here. So whatever is happening around this offer that's either coming in or going out, it's kind of shocking you. It's having a type of shocking type of vibe to it with the Tower card here. But on the flip side of it, it could be a revelation or an epiphany that you have about something that you want to start, some business that maybe you've been thinking about investing in, or a new career path or opportunity. So I see two scenarios with this one, with the Tower card here. Some of you guys could be getting some strong epiphanies or revelations, right? Or aha moments, like, oh wow, you know what, in order to bring me out of this place of, you know, unstable finances, or in order to bring me out of this place of being the borrower and not the lender, I have a great idea to start on something brand new, right? I have a great idea to do something that could be very lucrative. And this could be the, you know, the shocking or epiphany moment that you have that comes in. So I see two different scenarios. You know, some of you other guys could be kind of receiving some news from someone. It could be an earth sign possibly. But it seems like somebody could be like making some type of offer, and this makes certain things collapse inside of your life, or it maybe it's such a shock that you're like, whoa, and it just shakes you up or shakes your world up. This is like some information or some news that comes to you that kind of collapses a certain cycle for you. With it being a Tower card though, and with you having the 10 of swords up here, I do feel like this is kind of like a timeline that's collapsing. And I think for you, this could be surrounding some type of financial beginning or start that you want to have, that you're wanting to invest in and you're getting some ideas on. It's like a brand new beginning. And a lot of times when I see the Page of Pentacles, it does represent some type of craft or some type of business or some type of side hustle that you're wanting to start for yourself, where you can make money doing something that you kind of enjoy doing. And maybe for some of you guys, the start of that could be the end of an older cycle that you've been in, where, you know, you were having to kind of like deal with financial burdens or financial instability. So then we have the 8 of Pentacles here, and yeah, you are hard at work on something. You're wanting to build something for yourself. You're focusing on, you know, something that has to do with your life's path, right? For your vision for your future. Your life's work is what the 8 of Pentacles usually represents. So you're investing a lot of your time, a lot of your energy into building this thing that maybe you have, you know, recently had the idea to do, or let's say if you've already been working on it, you know, and it's still at its kind of like infant or beginning stages, and you're wanting to put more and more energy into this, like as much as possible. So you are taking on the King of Wands energy, because the King of Wands is all about action, all about passion, all about focus. Like, he is always moving, always doing something, always busy, always, you know. And I feel like you guys are definitely putting a lot of work into what it is you want to build for the future, because like I said, you're being motivated by maybe the place that you've been in for a while when it comes down to your finances, or when it comes down to your certain situation that you've been in, like I said, where you've been at the mercy of other people, and you just don't want to be in this position anymore. So you're putting all of your energy, all of your time into building something for yourself, right? So that you can take on this King of Wands energy. Because the King of Wands is very abundant, and he's very abundant off of the things he's built with his own hands. Like, he is the king that will definitely get his hands dirty, roll up his sleeves, build it from the bottom to the top, right? Like, he's very proactive also. He doesn't wait for things to come to him. He just goes out and makes it happen. Like, whatever needs to be done, I'm about to do it. Whatever it takes, I'm about to do it. And this is kind of the energy I see a lot of you Aquarius is taking on, because you're very serious about wrapping up this older cycle that I feel like you could have been struggling with for a while. Yeah, there's a certain amount of pain to it because you guys just don't want to be in a position that you're in. But it has been a very this has been a universal lesson for you. Like, it a lot of this hasn't been mostly because of your own doing. I feel like it's just been lessons for you to learn at the bottom. Like I was talking about before, a lot of people, before they're going to rise up to the status that they're going to rise to, the heights that they're going to rise to, a lot of times they have to spend time at the bottom, especially because usually, when people get all the way up to the top, they can get big-headed, right? They can lose their humbleness, they can get very egoic. So a lot of times before your astronomical rise to the top, you have to live at the bottom so you never will forget where you came from. And that's just like something that balances out everything. So now I feel like you are going towards this rise that you're wanting to work on as hard as possible. You feel like this new era coming in for you. You can smell it. You maybe can't see it all the way, but you can definitely just intuitively feel like, okay, it's time to move this thing forward. It's time for me to start rising, right? And so, yeah, that's what's going on. Then we have the Nine of Pentacles here, right? The Nine of Pentacles clarified by the High Priestess. So you're definitely thinking about your abundance, right? You're definitely thinking about your independence. Like I said, you're wanting to be in a place where you can be self-sufficient, where you can be resourceful, where you don't really need anybody, or you don't need to depend on anybody else for your finances, for your income, for living, like you want to live, for your material wealth. And so the Nine of Pentacles energies is somebody who is single, but also very abundant. And they have created something for themselves and they can enjoy it, right? They can enjoy the fruits of their labor. I believe this is the next phase that you guys are coming into, Aquarius, because you're at the phase now where you're working, like busy, 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 and you know that it's going to pay off. And it is going to be paying off for you. Some of you guys, this could already be happening right now where you're in a place of abundance and it's coming in and you're only, reminiscing about those times where you were having to depend on other people or borrow money or, you know, not be abundant. And for some of you other guys, this is the next phase that's coming, for you after the Eight of Pentacles phase. So I'm picking up a couple of different Aquariuses, but you definitely are heading towards this abundant energy, this no need for anything energy, right? Being content with what it is that you do in life. 1 second, Aquarius. Okay, so we're right back. So what I was saying is, you're definitely heading to this Nine of Pentacles energy, and it is a certain knowing that you have with the High Priestess here, because the knowing that's kind of giving you the urge and the motivation and the passion to work, right, as hard as you're working right now and wanting to invest your time and energy into what it is that you're building, is because you know what you're supposed to have. It's kind of like you're taking on that intuitive attitude that the High Priestess has, where it's not a belief, it's not faith, it's just a knowing. Like, I know that I'm supposed to be in this position. I know that I'm supposed to be abundant. I know, right? Like, and you can see it and feel it is real to you right now, even if it's not in your external world. And this is kind of, that law of attraction energy that you're taking on, because you're already there energetically, right, at the Nine of Pentacles position. I feel like you've already seen it, you've felt it, you've envisioned it, where your life is supposed to be specifically for you. And because of that, this is causing you to start to bring it into your external reality and attract it in. But you are working very hard at the same time. This is the other half of the law of attraction, right? Is the work that you have to put in. and invest into it. After you envision it, after you feel it, after you know that you're supposed to have it, then you put in the work, the consistency, the discipline, right? The sacrifice that it takes to actually bring this into your world. The King of Wands is all about that. This may be the hardest working king in the tarot, right? The King of Pentacles is more of a planner, right? He's very pragmatic, very smart in the way he positions himself, right? The King of Swords is very logical, a thinker, right? Almost like genius level, you know, like he does things a little bit differently. His style is differently. Both of those kings, the Pentacle and the King of Swords, they're kind of more laid back in their approach. Then you have the King of Cups. He's kind of like a master manifester, right? He definitely uses his emotions to attract things into the world and all that. But the King of Wands is like hands-on. He's like the #1 king that's going to get off of the throne and go do the work that's needed. He doesn't have the patience to wait around, right? He's kind of like fire, right? He's fire energy, so he's like hot. Like everything about him needs to be movement. He can't just sit around and watch things happen. He has to make things happen. And this is the energy you have, Aquarius. Like, you're like, let's do it, let's make it happen, let's whatever. And I know I keep saying that, but this is the strong energy that I feel like you guys are in, because you're definitely wanting to wrap up this older cycle. And for you, it is wrapping up because you're taking on this type of mentality. Right after that, we have the Eight of Wands here, clarified by the Three of Swords. So the Eight of Wands does talk about some communication that comes in, right? Or communication that goes back and forth between you and someone else, or between you and an organization, or whatever it could be in. This is like information that comes into you. But for some of you guys, for some reason, it could be causing some type of pain. Because the Three of Swords here, you really can't get around it. It's talking about, you know, distress or pain or heartbreak. With the Three of Swords, it definitely deals with the heart chakra. But on the flip side of it, you guys could be getting some information that comes in that brings you out of this heartbreak, or brings you out of feeling like, you know, you're in pain or suffering. With the Eight of Wands, Eight of Wands usually is some information that you've been waiting to come in, or communication from someone that you've been waiting to come in, right? And when it comes in, if you've been in a place of kind of like heartbreak, or feeling like, you know, you've been in pain and hurting, you know, then this information or this communication can kind of take you out of that. But if you haven't been in that place, then something could come in and kind of, you know, give you a little bit of heartbreak, or just give you that feeling of like, you know, your heart drops. This is that Tower moment too. So it's kind of like I'm seeing two different scenarios. So, you know, you would have to see which one you land on, Aquarius, because this is a general reading. So for some of you guys, it's kind of like news that's coming in that's bringing you out of some type of heartbreak or pain. And then for other you guys, it's kind of like some surprising news that comes in that's making you, unfortunately, kind of like feel some type of heartbreak. So it kind of depends on where you're at. But yet and still, the Three of Swords is kind of like all in your mind. It's not a major energy because it's only a 3. So even if you're the one that's kind of receiving some communication where you don't, you know, where you feel some type of way, it's kind of like all in your head a little bit, because this is a mental card. The Three of Swords is kind of like the thought of feeling heartbreak, or the thought of feeling pain, but it's not really that serious at the end of the day too. All right, so yeah, this one is a harder one to read. It's because there's so many different scenarios going on with you, Aquarius. So you guys let me know what's happening in the comments. All right. Alright, so let's go into your future energy. We have the Two of Pentacles, we have the Hermit card, we have the Five of Swords, and then we have the Three of Wands. So Two of Pentacles here could be talking about you juggling two decisions, maybe, or going back and forth in your head about something. This also can be talking about how you're trying to find balance, right? Because I've been talking about the Six of Pentacles here, talking about finding financial balance. So with your finances, you are trying to balance them, and you're definitely tapping into your inner strength, right, to bring balance to a financial situation, because everything could kind of be up and down right now when it comes down to your finances. That's what I was picking up at the beginning of your reading. But you are tapping into your inner strength, like parts of you that you didn't even know you had. The strength card here a lot of times talks about hidden strength that's kind of buried beneath us, that certain circumstances that we face activates it, right? It's certain things that we can't find out about ourselves until we experience some dark nights of the soul, or until we experience hard times in our life, right? That makes us understand exactly how strong we are, that we can survive through this type of event or this type of circumstance. So for you, I feel like you are definitely channeling some of your inner strength, some of your inner fortitude, Aquarius, and bringing that to the surface to help you salvage, something that you're trying to juggle and bring a balance to. And I'm definitely picking up financially. Then down here we have the Hermit card. The Hermit clarified by the Sun card. So I do feel like a lot of you Aquariuses are in hermit mode. You're kind of definitely to yourself. You're wanting to just go within to find answers about your life, or find some answers about your path, or why you're in the position that you are in. And with the Hermit card, you are definitely going to be finding those answers. There's some type of enlightenment that's coming in to you. The Hermit card does also talk about kind of like you removing certain blocks of the ego, because the Hermit goes within in order to kind of like have an ego death, or shed certain aspects of the ego that blocks a person from evolving or moving forward or elevating in life. So whenever somebody goes into the hermit mode, it is closely tied into the dark night of the soul too, where you have to have a certain ego death, and some of you guys are kind of going through an ego death. But on the other side of this tunnel, or outside of this cave, when you come back out of hermit mode, you do have the Sun card. So there's a transformation that's happening and occurring when you're inside of it, hermit mode, and finding out these answers, or shedding certain layers or aspects of your ego, that when you come out of this, it's going to be a brighter, future ahead. It's going to be more fun times that's coming your way, because you've been through this certain amount of darkness, and because you come out with this amount of knowledge that you can use moving forward. This is why the Hermit carries the lantern, because within himself he gathers all this inner wisdom and knowledge that he can use to move forward. And this is what's kind of lighting up your world moving forward, this lesson that you're learning, right, about yourself, about life, about a lot of different things that are kind of being taught within this struggle that I feel like some of you guys could be going through, Aquarius. But at the end of it all, when the dust settles, right, you're going to have so much, or so many blessings that are coming your way, that the universe does want to shower down on you in all areas of life, right? A lot of abundant energy that's coming your way, a lot of positivity, right? I'm feeling like the phoenix that's definitely going to rise from the ashes, right? But you're going through this whole process of going deep, just to go a lot higher, right, than you were able to go before, because the level of depth that you go through or go into does determine your height and how high you're able to fly. So with this Sun energy coming in, that's great energy that's coming for you in the future. A lot of healing, fertile, creative, spiritual, optimist type of energy that's coming in for you, right? Let's keep it moving. Down below that, we have the Five of Swords, and it's clarified by the Death card. So something is coming to an end with you and maybe another group of people, maybe two people, or maybe just someone else that has something to do with striving. You know, it feels like it was very low vibrational. One person was trying to one up the other person, or win over the other person, or have the last word or the last say, or be the victor. And I do feel like you're just kind of giving up on that situation and dropping the swords and just like wanting to walk away, because this definitely feels like it had a lot of ego involved in it. Like you or the other person was very egoic, and it's kind of like it was a battle of the ego, or the battle of who could, you know, win. But this is kind of like a lose-lose situation, and I do feel like some of you guys are realizing that and just wanting to just drop the swords, drop the arguments, drop, you know, having to win and just walk away from it. And it's a transformation that's happening around that. It's a death that's happening around maybe this you know, this fight or something that was happening around you and some other people, I feel. And it is coming to a total end, definitely with this lunar eclipse that just passed. A lot of things are being eclipsed out of our life, right? With the death card, there definitely has been a death to a certain situation that I feel like just was a lose-lose type of situation. No matter how much you tried maybe to make things happen within this, it just was not happening. So you're definitely just wanting to walk away from it. And this is the advice from the cards anyway, just to walk away from it and not really have to have the last word or be the winner. Just kind of like be done with it and let it die is what the death card is here for. Yeah, then below that we have the Three of Wands clarified by the Knight of Swords. Three of Wands energy does talk about expansion that's coming in for you, Aquarius. You're definitely waiting for your ships to come in, right? You've already made the decision to go down a certain path and to pursue something like I was talking about with the Eight of Pentacles. And you're expanding your mind and definitely wanting to expand your reality and your circumstance that you're in. And this is the energy that's definitely coming in for you. You are also receiving some communication that's coming in surrounding your expansion. With this Knight of Swords, a lot of times talks about a communication that comes in. And like I said, you have a lot of communication that's coming in. I don't know exactly where from. It may be from an air sign or earth sign, but some type of communication is definitely coming in, and it's definitely going to be part of your expansion, part of where you're headed next. Some of you guys could definitely be moving. Some of you guys could be traveling to a new location. With his Knight of Swords here, talks about quick movement somewhere else. The Three of Wands here a lot of times can be talking about a move that's happening, so you can actually expand, especially if you've been in a place where it's been very restrictive on your energy. You're definitely thinking about where you can expand to, or move where your energy can be more expansive. So yeah, Aquarius, a lot going on for you in the second half of July, definitely going into August. I feel like overall it's going to be some great energy though, because you have some great cards here with the Nine of Pentacles here, with the Eight of Pentacles. You're definitely building something for yourself. And there is a old cycle, you know, surrounding your finances that are going to be ending, right, and wrapping up, that had a lot to do with your pain. And new cycles are coming in with this death card, this transformation that's happening. And you're choosing to walk away from a lot of older energies or environments that no longer serve you. This is what's going to be ushering in this brand new cycle of good times, good vibes, being around, you know, people that are bringing you better energy, right? Being around an environment that's more conducive to who it is that you are as a person. this is what's shifting in your life. But you are working very hard to bring about this change. So yeah, Aquarius, let's go. Overall, great reading. I'm going to wrap it up right there for you guys. Hopefully it did resonate with you. If it did, like, share, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in August.